All right, everybody, welcome back to what is now episode 5 of Barrel Talks. I got some special guests again. We've got Ryan from SUMIT back on, and we have Tim and Rachel from Urban Gelball. Rachel is off camera. Rachel's off camera at the moment, but you will hear her throughout the podcast, I'm sure. Thanks for tuning in again.
If it wasn't a dry field, I feel that you need to hand out margaritas with that music. Like, it's just...
Yeah. And then say...
So that's saved.
And then...
Monocerebus.
Right, so we are back. This is actually round 2 for this podcast because my hard drive died. We recorded this podcast 2 weeks...
3 weeks ago?
No.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
No, it is 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yep, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so 3 weeks ago, my hard drive absolutely cacked it and we lost the entire podcast. So we're back at a re-record here. We as you would have heard, Urban Gelball's down here for a nice chat. So thank you guys for making the trip. Really appreciate it.
Urban Gelball's finally got patches.
Yeah. Where can they pick these patches up, Tim?
Urban Gelball, funnily enough.
Urban Gelball.
At Forest Glen, Sunshine Coast.
Beautiful. Do you want to explain a little bit what Urban Gelball is for anyone who hasn't played or been there yet?
Oh, geez, it's like the half brother of Rapid Vantage. It's like indoor.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Lots of walls.
Yep.
Lots of rooms. Lots of fast moving. Short games. Very good field. If you've played at Rapid before, you're going to find very similar gameplay, very similar CQB field in terms of being being as close to as possible simulated CQB. So you're not an indoor skirmish field, it's a CQB field. So high walls, tight corners, corridors, very rarely having kill holes conveniently put in walls. It's a very good field. Ryan and I have played. We've got a video up on SUMIT.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of videos of footage that we've had over there.
Yeah, so definitely head over and check that out. Where can they find Urban Gelball socials?
Just Urban Gelball.
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram. That's it. Facebook, Instagram. We have a YouTube, but I don't keep it updated because we're not all as crazy as you in just putting out mad video content day after day after day after day. So
yeah.
For anyone that says video content's just like, click and collect,
no.
Definitely not.
No.
So even when you're just live recording to try and put it up, it's 3 records to get a live recording for like a 5-minute snippet.
Absolutely. But for everyone who doesn't know, the A team, oh, there goes the camera. The A team here, both SUMIT and Urban, have been very significant in helping to, open and establish Rapid. We've all known each other for months now.
Start of the year.
Yeah, start of the year. Start of the year. They were the first people that I was reaching out to, contacting and explaining what Rapid is, and ever since then we've had this fantastic brother-sister field relationship and supporting. So it's been really cool. And for those who would have heard that when you're at Rapid and we say we have a rule set and whatnot, we actually try to align a lot with Urban in the same rules that we do, even almost similarly in the gameplays that we run at the fields, right?
Yeah, I think that's like everyone that talks to us, we pretty much just straight say we've got a chat that runs between the 4 of us. That's just every rule change, every game change. Hey, we've run this, or hey, what do you think about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're always very actively collaborating as fields, trying to make players' experiences, I would say, as universal as possible.
Yeah, uniform rule set, uniform game styles.
For anyone that's like not involved in a field, like I'm not a field owner, but to be a part of the discussion, for those that don't run fields, the amount of effort that goes into like running a field and, you know, negotiating rules and game modes and stuff like that. There's a lot to it. That chat is every day. Every day there is something new to talk about, wanting to expand and try something different. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So definitely have some appreciation for your field owners.
Yeah.
So many small changes and the ripples you don't see straight away. Oh, we'll just do that. We'll just say this.
Like, it's a good idea. It's an amazing idea. You're like, sweet, let's put it in play. And then you run it for that session. You go, at the end of the session, you're like, ooh, there was a lot we overlooked there.
Didn't see that.
That's trial and error though, isn't it?
Welcome to growth.
Yeah, exactly. But how long has Urban been a thing for? What's your guys' background for those people who are listening and watching?
So we opened our first session 30th of November last year. Prior to that, we'd been playing for about 18 months.
Yeah, about that.
Got introduced originally by a mate of mine who's ADF. He'd been playing with a couple of mates just randomly, occasionally. We're trying to get down to Donnybrook at least once a month. And then we're sort of like, yeah, this would be a kind of really awesome after-work sport. I'm not an after-work sport person. I come from tech background, so I'm used to going home and sitting on the computer.
Yep.
So being able to roll into you play basketball, you play TRL, you play squash. I play gel ball.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, gel ball, is that like a different version of basketball? I'm like, sure. It's close enough.
Close enough.
We've got teams and rules.
Yeah. Teams and rules. That's about, and we play with balls.
And we play with balls. Lots of balls.
Lots.
And there's air, you know, air's involved.
So,
yeah. And I guess, like, from those steps, I mean, no, everyone thinks, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great to own a field and start it up? What was from the process for you guys when you decided to have this idea and you were like, we want to make I'm assuming an indoor field, and then knowing what CQB is and designing, did you guys have any like background in CQB before, or you kind of knew this design?
I suppose take one step back from that. We looked at both. We actually looked at indoor and outdoor. We were looking at land up on the coast to make an outdoor field initially, and then actually decided that, you know, you've got, well, on the north side, you've got, when we opened Donnybrook, some private, or not private, smaller fields in Yamundi, the farm, and I can't remember the name of the other one up at Gympie. But they're all weekends.
Yeah.
We wanted to get people that wanted to do it, you know, second, third, fourth time during the week.
Yeah.
And then I think from when we actually said yes to open was 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
Wow.
So from deciding that we were going to do it was about 10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks of, we can do this, to finding a place, to 8 weeks of build after work.
Yeah, so both of us work full-time day jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at the moment, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night and Saturdays for the field.
Wow.
So everything was balancing all of that. Like there was the initial build, as you'd know, but the initial build was, go to work, leave work, go to the field, build walls.
Yeah.
Go home, sleep, repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys are, you're still full-time working. Once you finish your day jobs, you're down at the field making sure everyone can have their gel ball sessions and whatnot.
Yeah, so we started it with the idea that, you know, we both like to play, and we didn't get a chance to play because we couldn't get to the other fields, and we'll build something closer to home. Still don't get to play.
So both of us try and make an effort at least once a week, even if it's not for a full game, full session, just to get on for a couple of, so we run 10-minute rounds over the 2 or 3 hour session, depending which one. Try and get on for a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
But at the moment, so Rachel's employed somewhere. I run another business on my own. That's sort of been a blessing in one way, that I've been able to set aside a day a week to do any running around for Urban Gelball.
Is today, correct?
Which is today, as well as any running round for my other business.
Yeah,
that's my unpaid day. That's where I've got to achieve everything else to keep the other 6 days running.
Yeah, Yeah.
Rach just toughs it out. She's 5 days a week, 40 plus hours a week at the other business.
Oof.
And then 5 nights a week.
Yeah. So for anyone who's going and playing at Urban, make sure that once you'll finish your session, walk up to these guys, tell them thank you. Thanks for the game. Walk up to your refs as well. Say thanks for doing it, because like Ryan said, he's not a field owner, but I'm sure, as everyone knows, he's been very important here at Rapid. He's been doing the same thing. You work a 9 to 5 job. Then
More like 7 to 5.
7 to 5. And then he leaves that, comes and refs here, leaves here and goes and works on Summit. So
7 days a week.
yeah, 7 days a week. It's a constant job. So we're all, and it's not that I'm complaining. We all love it. But definitely, if you're ever out there having a game, regardless of how the session turns out, go up and thank these guys at Urban. If you do a Summit workshop, go and say thank you afterwards.
We do it for you guys.
Yeah, we do it for you guys.
We don't do it for the thanks.
We don't do it for the thanks, but
definitely no complaints in it. But anyone that thinks a field is you're going to be rolling in money,
oh God, no.
There's always
doing it for the love of the sport, and
Absolutely.
one day it'll be big enough that we can just have a day off and go play for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I think that's why we've aligned so well as Fields and Summit, because we're all genuinely doing it for the love of the sport, which is important, which is what needs to happen.
There's a big, what's the wording? Like the prospect of where the sport can go over the next 5 years is huge.
Yeah, massive.
And to get on that early enough that you can establish yourself as a field, as a retailer, whatever, where the sport's going to be in 5 years it's just going to skyrocket. It already is. I mean, it's
absolutely
massive amounts of gel blasters that are being sold, a lot of fields that are opening up. So the potential is huge for the sport to continue growing around the country. Hopefully some of these other states are a bit on the fence, start realising that there's a lot of potential in it. As obviously the government can get their take in taxes and stuff. So hopefully we start seeing a national growth.
Sport dollar, tourism dollar. There's a lot more.
There's a lot.
Yep.
Look at the. I know COVID's had such a big impact across every industry in the world.
Well, Exhibit A.
Opening
exactly.
1 week before it.
Exhibit A. We're all ramping up to cheer Luke to open Summit.
Yeah, these guys were so well behind Rapid. They're like, "Yep, sweet, it's gonna happen. We've heard about it." And then I get the messages being like, "I'm so sorry, man."
Lockdown. Well, you would have been able to open for 2 days before the lockdown date.
Saturday was the launch. Soft launch.
And
Sunday was when
Sunday.
PM came out and said we're going on lockdown. So it was one day.
Literally one day.
You look now. What are we? September. You look at the growth among the sport in the last few months during a pandemic where people are like, I'm not sure if I'm going to have money. I don't know if I've got a job. There's all this uncertainty. But of one of the few industries that's continued to thrive is
gel ball.
Remarkably, gel ball. It's continued to grow through this time. So if it's doing that through a pandemic, what's it going to be like outside
the pandemic?
Other side of that, yep. And that's, I think, providing a little bit of escapism.
Yeah.
From just, hey, you can put the real world on hold for a couple of hours. A little bit of community and camaraderie.
Fitness.
And the fitness. I know we've got, so as of the other day, we're now up to 4 teams that have formed up around Urban Gelball.
Yeah, we've had a few come and play here.
And another team that existed prior that's now sort of claiming that as their home field.
Home field, yeah.
We've had guys that have said to us during COVID, the gym's closed. So, the old joke about if someone's a vegan CrossFitter, what do they tell you first?
That they're a CrossFitter?
Yeah. And they're like, so we used to do CrossFit.
Wait, hang on. I think I've got something for this.
But yeah, we've had a couple of players that have come and said, hey, the gym closed. The gym's not open yet. We started doing this after COVID, and some that literally got introduced to it during the COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
And then went, hey, we're not going back to CrossFit. It's more fun. We can do it with our friends, and whether it's just their feeling of general exercise or whether it's they're wearing a Fitbit or whatever that's measuring it for them.
Yep.
It is a sport. It does definitely push you to your limits if you push yourself.
Definitely. Yeah, it's good. And sorry, just had a mind blank. I was 24 hours. 24 hours.
Say,
into
we talked about this on our podcast, the last episode.
Yeah,
we talked
episode.
about the episode 4.
Yes.
We talked about the fitness, and it doesn't matter where you're playing. If you're playing indoor, somewhere like Rapid or Urban, or if you're playing outdoor or skirmish or speed or whatever, there is a field and there is a tempo of gameplay to suit everyone. It doesn't matter what level you're at. And I think that's great because people, when they look at fitness, they go, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
Or I don't think I have what it takes. Or they go to the gym, they don't know what they're doing. You rock up to a Gelball field, you've got your blaster, you start playing. And guess what? You're exercising.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it is.
And the exercise is the last thing you're thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So more power to people that use it for fitness, because it's not just the physical fitness, but also the mental health. You talked about that escapism for a couple of hours. It's not just that. It's, how many people go and buy a blaster, get super pumped about it, they go home, they're modding it, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're shopping for the next, upgrade or the next accessory they want to buy for it. So all this is, not disguising, but it's helping them get through what is a really crappy time in the world at the moment. And having something to look forward to on the weekend instead of just like, oh, everything's shut or we're in lockdown or whatever it is. It's like, oh no, I'm going to go and catch up with my friends. We're going to have some fun. We're going to shoot each other. We're not going to get hurt in doing it. And we're going to get some fitness out of it. Like, what aren't the benefits?
Yeah.
Why is this not being promoted more?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, how do you guys see, with your, let's talk about first time players for a second. What was your first experience on Gelball like?
Wow, that's I was going to say a long, long time ago. I cannot remember.
All my troubles seem so far away. That's 2 different songs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to play a sound effect.
No.
That's a machete mashup. I honestly can't remember the first time itself. It was Donnybrook. Was it just the 3? Was it Rachel and Dennis? Just the 3 of us? I think it might have been. Yeah, so my ex-housemate, who is our field designer now, was the 3 of us. Basically, we all went, had a look at it, went, oh yeah. Went for a drive down to Tack Edge.
I'm not a morning person. I was just told to get in the car, and they just handed me a blaster and said, this is what we're doing for the day.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Very surreal for me because I've grown up around the military and I've handled lots of real weapons, and then just given a plastic toy and told to shoot people was interesting.
I suppose it was a bit weird as well because Rachel's a military brat. I've grown up around hunting, and I've got some family that comes from the country.
Yeah.
I'm a coast boy. I've moved around a bit, but come back to the Sunshine Coast. But yeah, I've got family that own big properties and bits and pieces like that. So I've grown up knowing that firearms are a tool.
Yeah.
So that was odd. And then Dennis, I don't believe's really ever had any exposure to firearms or anything prior. He's don't know if he still considers himself, but he was a semi-pro video game player, like Counter-Strike, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, miles above anyone else I know in terms of FPS.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 3 different...
That's first-person shooter, by the way,
Yes.
for those Gelballers.
Yeah. He's not playing with a...
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
He hasn't got the chrono out and his Machiavelli. He's right up there with the FPS.
First-person shooter, like Counter-Strike, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are there people that would be listening that would know what Counter-Strike is? What's our audience?
Well,
I think we're 50-50 on that. COD, Counter-Strike, Modern
Yeah.
Warfare.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah.
That was our... I can't remember the first day specifically, but I know that was the first group. I know that we all went down to the original Tactical Edge store, Tactical Edge Hobbies in... Ormo, that's the one. Yep.
Ormo.
Yep.
Bought a couple of blasters there back when they were that little store on the side before they went...
Yeah.
And yeah, just my first blaster, I think, was an M4SS. That whole like 3-shot burst. It's like, I think it's the first 3-shot burst blaster ever.
I love that 3-shot burst.
Yeah.
Me too. It's great. Feels really good at the back too. But
Yeah, it does.
I love hearing when
Always get team killed by you.
when people talk about getting into blasters, and it's like, oh, what was your first blaster? And like, oh, I had a Gen 8, oh, I had an M4SS. And you look at that, and then you look at what's out now, like full metal gas shotguns and all that kind of stuff, and you go, oh boy, we've come a long way in the last like
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are we going to be in 2 years' time?
Yeah,
it goes back in 5 years' time, 10 years'
be
time.
crazy.
What are we going to have on the market?
It's going to be crazy.
Well, it's, I think like my second blaster was I think it's unofficially referred to as the V2 G36C. Clear with the mechanical mags. You still have the piece on the top that you click to cycle.
Yeah.
I still run that.
Yeah.
No mods.
So that's interesting,
CQB.
actually. For anyone watching, put in the comments where your first field was that you played and what your first blaster was.
And if you still have it.
And if you still have it, yeah, that's a good one, honestly, because
If
I
you
still
still
have
run it.
mine.
You still run it.
Mine was the bolt action M90. Is that the, no, not the M90, the
Car 98,
Can't only okay.
no
M24.
M24
yep.
from Tac Toys. That was my first blaster, and I still have it.
I've still got all the blasters that I've purchased from start to now.
Yeah, no.
Every single one.
Ditto.
And
I don't.
Someone's like, you can sell that. I'm like, yeah, or I can put it on a wall when I
Yeah.
get something set up and say, like, this is the progression of where I came from.
And it's funny,
Yeah.
I've got like a whole like dedicated area for gel blasters where all my blasters are. And, you know, I always go to the same like 2 or 3 blasters whenever I go anywhere. And it kind of changes depending on what's
Yeah.
the flavour of the month.
Yep.
But sometimes I move things around and go, oh, that's right. I got this Vector that I spent a fortune on that I haven't used. Oh, I've got this MP7 that's still in the box. And it's always interesting to go back over those blasters of like yesteryear. Like, I remember that came out.
Because mine was the bolt action. Then it was the HK416.
Yep.
Yeah, I
The
think
version
everyone went
one.
through that phase.
Which is now I've chopped that up. It's my Joker blaster. I've spray painted it. Looks like Lego. It's the Bat Killer, that one. It's got the M4 like Vietnam style like carry handle on the top. And
You're one of the people that post that on Facebook, and everyone just posts hate at the
Oh,
mixing of
it happened.
Why would you put a
it happened. I'm
M16
pretty
A2?
sure if you scroll way back in the Gel Blaster Association page, I put them up. I painted my Vector green. And this one, and it was just absolute hate.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember it. We were like, holy crap. Like,
Look at the hate.
look at the hate. But I enjoy it. Rachel's just sitting down for those who
Wondering about the
she went
squeaking.
she went from a
The chair's too tall for her.
couldn't reach the floor.
Oh, that's why.
For anyone that wondering, Rachel's like
4
4 foot 11.9.
No, I'm sorry. She's very sneaky around the field. I've got the few. You know, you don't expect to be aiming that. You know,
No. Everyone
you're
used
very
to
sneaky as well.
Everyone used to query when I was out playing why I always shot everyone in the thighs.
Yeah,
It's 2 reasons. One, as a field owner, especially when I was running, so I had a blaster that I started building, and then Adam from Oz Hobbies tuned the gearbox for me called Kitty. And it was a really, really stumpy M4.
Yeah.
Like 4-inch Noveski front, the shortest rear buffer tube I could, and a drum mag. And it was doing like 24, 26 rounds a second.
yeah,
Gen 8 auto only, so I was just always really short and careful on the trigger. But in ambushing corners, I used to aim down because no one wants to get 28 rounds a second in the face.
yeah.
Except Rach used to end up getting every time because she come right crouched, I'm shooting down. Everyone's like, why do you always aim at my legs? I'm like, well, 2 reasons. One, Rach is always crouched around the corner, so if I want to shoot her.
Yeah, you've got to aim low.
So
No, it's good, and actually, that's a good little segue for us all to talk about our play styles. You know, we're all 2 indoor CQB field owners and a CQB instructor. You know, I guess everyone always assumes that we are some sort of CQB gods in a sense. But what's your preferred play style? Like, Do you like? Are we all in love with CQB, or do you prefer the outdoors? Do you like to have variety? What's the go?
I definitely enjoy both. There is different methods of playing for both. CQB, I use it as a way to challenge myself. When I say challenge myself, I'm not good. I'm not a good player compared to there is guys out there that will run rings around me.
Oh yeah,
no issues.
Yeah.
That's a downside of being a field owner. You never actually get on your field for long enough to gain the skills to. But yeah, like I go out sometimes and play with the old RX Desert Eagles, auto only.
Yeah.
No mags, just literally what's in them. Dual. It's a different play style. It also depends on the team that I'm jumping in with as to if they're a younger team or a newer team that want to get pushed out.
Yeah.
I've played our field with the MSR, the sniper rifle, that and a gas pistol.
That's what we should bring tomorrow night is the MSRs.
Yeah.
Let's do MSR CQB.
Yeah.
So, well, we do twofold. So we do, sometimes we run, because we've got the upstairs section on our field. We've got the ramps.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, anyone hasn't been, they've got an upstairs, like, little gantry walk,
Yep, catwalk and 2 forts.
Very cool.
But we sometimes play Overwatch where some of our game modes will put a single player up there and the player calls every 5 or 10 seconds, sniper ready, and then they can take a shot depending on whether they're assisting one team or anyone they can see as a field hazard.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
And we've had a lot of good feedback from that. But
That'd be fun to do.
That'd be very
It's good
fun.
feedback when I'm not doing it.
But yeah, like I've run the MSR. I definitely enjoy running my Blitz from Azrael's Armory. That on semi is laser.
Yeah.
G36 is pretty good in semi as well. They just seem to never die.
Yeah.
But I can't say that. I mean, outdoors, I've got what I call the Spray K, which I can't even remember the brand, but it's the old acrylic. So I think it was one of the first AKs that came with an 11-volt battery.
Right.
Stock in the box, designed to run. It empties the mag in like 10 seconds, and it is as accurate as throwing a handful of gels.
Yeah.
But it was a pretend PMC, so it had a buffer tube style rear on it. So you pull it off, and I used to just hang it under my arm as a sling and sort of use it as a breaching shotgun style with the pistol grip.
Yeah.
So I play with that sometimes just because I've got to get close to people.
Yeah.
There's no accuracy, so it's use it as a shotgun style.
Yeah.
And then the gas shotguns came.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I like to vary.
Yep.
I'm happy. Good. Yeah, I'm the kind of like Counter-Strike or Diablo player, for those of you that do video games, that has 6 different characters and completely tries to immerse myself in that loadout.
Yeah. Yeah, good. What about you, Rachel? Miss Vector Queen?
It's pretty simple. I've got a stock Vector that I've had for almost 2 years.
Yep.
No upgrades, nothing special. Pretty well run it on the burst
Yep.
only.
She did get a Monday morning job. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, just one of those ones is a freak. It is a freak, actually, yours, and it stings too.
Yep.
Without
People
ultra
tell me
hard,
that.
without ultra hard gels.
Yep. Well,
Because I just run a
Super
a
hard
rental
and-
gels. Like I don't do anything special to it.
yeah, don't know why. Hers is just that Monday morning fresh from weekend when they built that one.
Yeah.
Because, as you guys know, we've got the G36s and the Vector rentals.
Yeah.
And, Rach is...
But yeah, stumpy, no stock.
Good to
Easy
go.
to sneak around corners.
Yeah, nice. Ryan, what's your CQB blaster? I know we've had this discussion before.
Yeah, I mean MP5. I did get I did get the Salient Arms shotgun, which is the most non-CQB friendly shotgun of them all. And I'm about 3'9", so it pretty much towers me. But I'm keen to try that. Out at Urban, see how it goes. But look, MP5 just because it's an MP5. Come on,
who doesn't like MP5s?
But I'm in the process of I'm going to be building up a new sort of CQB rig.
Yeah.
Which is one of the new Kublai K6s. Kind of looks like a an ARP 9, but it's going to be basically an M4 with stick mags, something a little bit different. So
nice.
That'll probably be the next thing. And then obviously once the all-metal MP5s come out, I'll sell all my blasters and just have an all-metal MP5.
Yeah.
I also heard is it an all-metal or a half-metal UMP coming?
Yeah. I believe it's
I'm
by LDT as well,
yes.
as far as I know. And again, that may well make it into the armory.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I just did my honey badger, but I mainly do that for outdoor play. And I also mainly do it here on our private nights because it's semi only and it's the only really blaster I have that's reliable on semi.
Yep.
But I also have the Azrael's Full Metal AK-74U, which I ran out this weekend on one battery outdoors, and it's amazing. So I might run that tomorrow night because on semi, because I have the MP5, but unless you're shooting full auto, it's not that reliable. They've got that, the double ambi fire selector.
Yep.
I'm on semi, and then I always switch it to off. But it is nice. I like that blaster, and I have the Shorty CO2 shotgun.
Yes.
Which is very fun.
The zombie
hunter or the
the
AOW,
Shorty.
any other weapon?
The
Three
Shorty.
shot.
3-shot, yeah, but they call
the
it
vertical front grip.
They call that one the Shorty, and then the Zombie Killer, and then
I think the formal name for the 3-shot's any other weapon, because that's what it's licensed as if you got to register in the States.
Yeah.
It's actually too short to be considered a shotgun in the States.
Yeah, so I run that on the side as my secondary, and then the AK as the primary.
Do you reckon if you took the salient arms, the full length, and actually cut it down like a sawn-off, would it be a sawn-off shotgun? Is anyone game enough to...
Why would you cut that blaster?
Why would someone cut a full-length shotgun down to a sawn-off, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Maybe a real custom build, eh? Look at this. What'd you do to it? I cut the barrel off.
See, what I want to do on the Shorty, because you've got the pistol grip and then the screw to go in.
Yep.
Now, I have the Benelli, just because, and it has the exact same pistol grip style. I want to see... I might do it tonight actually. If I can screw the buffer tube for that, for the buttstock onto the Shorty, so you'd have a Shorty with a little buttstock, the buttstock from the Benelli. Yeah,
the buttstock actually tilts.
Pivots.
Yeah,
pivots.
Do you know where we put it? Because remember I broke it on Escort the President. I broke the shotgun and
it was down the ref.
It was down in the ref area.
Yes, I believe all of the gas shotguns that have come in at the moment are basically Remington 870 clones.
So it should work.
Any accessories that cross over to those should.
It's good.
Ooh, how good would that be? A little Shorty with a little Benelli buttstock.
So...
Yeah, Luke's the guy that goes, how can I make this blaster be anything but what the blast was designed
Yeah, what's
to
the
be?
most unique way I can put this blaster?
Yeah.
Like my MP5, I just drilled the tack rails into the handguard and put like a foregrip, like the
there are people,
foregrip and stuff.
there are people that don't have the MP5 that are visibly like upset.
Yeah,
by
they're all like, I'm like, hey guys, it's comfortable.
Wait, didn't you do it like, I think it was the day you brought it, you were just like, oh, I want rails on it.
Yeah, just drilled it in.
drilled into it.
I
I was
did it
like,
with my
oh no.
I did it with my AK-74U. I got the UMP rails, the metal ones, and just drilled straight into the wood, put that on there. I drilled 2 holes in the top, like the cap bit.
I don't like AKs and I'm appalled.
Just bolted the thing on, and it works. It works.
But there are people that are looking at these blasters going, man, if I could afford that, I wouldn't be drilling into it.
But why? Like, I mean, it's
no, it's good. You're making it your own.
It's wood. Like, it's the... it's better. I don't like duct taping stuff to blasters.
You
I
are
hate
encompassing the freedom fighter, the rebel.
That's what VTS is. The VTS is PMC group. So I'm just trying to do that. I hate anything that looks normal. Like that looks like everyone else has. I don't like it at all. No.
You just want to be different.
I want to be different always.
I like to keep. I don't know.
You're very replica-ish.
Yeah, I'm very replica-ish. I think, I don't know, probably military kind of helps with that because I just go, oh man, I'd love to have had that if I was using it for real. So I'll replicate it with a gel blaster. I look at some of the mods you do and I go, I like it and it's practical, but I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. Like
purity.
What's the like on my MP5 now? I took that angled foregrip on and I put the really short foregrip that's angled cut. So it's basically foregrip and then that mag just curves just nicely like that. So, it looks so good.
We apologise for those of you that have PTSD from this episode of Luke modding blasters.
There are people going, do not let Luke touch a blaster.
Yeah, I should just put them up on Instagram. Just be like, who would run this?
Maybe I might do it. I might put some pictures up and go, what do you rate this blaster as? And we'll see what the responses are.
Like even my pistol, I've put the most awkward, the most like the pistol grip that no one has. I can't even remember the name of that lower, but it's this really stippled one, and then it's like the actual hand grip. Like when you slide the mag in, it's almost the same width as the mag.
Okay.
And it's like stippled, and it's beautiful.
I'll put some photos in SUMIT and see what people think.
Yeah, all right. So keep an eye out for that.
I must say I did order some 1911 side caps the other day. Glow in the dark ones.
Yes.
That's
Oh yeah. may not have told the accounts person that I ordered those.
Oops.
No, it's all right. It's a big order of other stuff, so I can hide the cost.
I'd say that's the one up of being a field owner is this is like I'd say we're one of the very few that could actually claim this stuff on tax properly. Somewhat within reason.
Within reason, yeah.
So that's the good thing about SUMIT.
It's like
All that
he's
is a
pushing
training
the
aid.
within reason.
Yeah. I put some glow in the dark caps. Why? I needed them.
Safety. No, safety. If I drop a 1911 on the field, I need to be able to locate it in pitch black.
Yeah. See, my thing
But we
is,
don't run pitch blacks.
But Luke does, and I come and play down at rapid finish.
Ooh.
It's a safety thing.
Yeah, nice high five.
See, my thing is, I need to test it because if it comes up to the field, I need to know how it works. And my thing is, I need to test it on normal gels.
Yeah. So we do have a little bit of that as well. We try and get one of most of the major, like we have Slav, one of our refs. He got the Wells CQB.
Yeah.
So it was good to see how that runs. He runs Ubernight with that on the pink gels. Like that thing is just a sewing machine.
See, that's the thing. We have our, like, for those of you who don't know, Urban have their Uber nights on a Tuesday night, which is 350 FPS, ultra hardened gels allowed, same as Rapid now. Our legendary nights have moved to a private invite only night for regulars, which we allow that. I don't have a blaster shooting over 290, and I never run the ultra hard gels. Not indoors. It's not needed.
Yeah,
unless I'm running the pistol.
Yeah,
That's it. But even then, I don't.
Yeah, we're similar. So pistols on Uber and our pistol shotgun nights, we will run ultra hard gels in the pistols and the shotguns. But my other blaster, any of the other ones, I pretty much just run yellows. They seem to work for me most of the time. I probably should briefly say in there, we don't know if we're going to continue Tuesdays at the moment.
Okay.
We may be doing similar to you guys and just amalgamating them to a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's a lower player base.
It is. It is a very specific player base that want to do that.
I think
We put it out there as an offer. We've been running for just over 2 months now.
Yep.
And it hasn't been as popular as people
as Facebook led us to
made
believe.
out.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
So, like we do get a lot of feedback if we did it on a Friday.
Yeah.
But we get we get a ton of families come in on Friday nights.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
it's walking that fine line between what makes it enjoyable and
we are trying to push the sport and bring in more people.
Yep.
That's going to come with the younger crowd, fathers and sons.
Fathers and daughters.
Sons
and mothers.
We've got
Fathers
sons and
daughters.
Yeah, we've got
Uncles
the whole.
and nieces.
We do have a couple of sons that come with their mums and play.
Yeah.
And it's, we don't really want them out with over 350 and ultra hard gels.
I mean, there was a
It's just
post just
unnecessary.
before. Pauline Hanson's a big advocate for the sport. She's got a Vector and she goes and plays.
yeah.
King of Roy.
Yeah. Well, we were.
Let's get old Pauline down to the field.
Let's get Pauline down.
Pauline Hanson, if you are seeing this, please reach out to either Urban Gelball or Rapid. If you're an advocate, we definitely thank you for it. We'll put on an event for that. Anyone who's watching this who has contacts to Pauline Hanson, please just let us know. Let us know.
And we'll go one further than that. Any politician
politician
who is an advocate for the sport will put up, come play a session for free. So you can actually see what it's like, and the effort that we've put to try and show that this isn't just, there is pickup games.
Yeah.
But we are also trying to get the sport side of it, the show that people can do teamwork You can take 4 newbies and 4 regulars, put them together and get a reasonably cohesive team. And if you can't, go see Summit Tactical.
Yeah, but that's the thing I definitely second that. So guys, if you guys know any of your local politicians, any of the big politicians, anything like that, get in contact with us. Celebrities, anything like that, anything. We are here to help push this sport. And we will do something for.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. It'll be a good
a lot
fun
of people
thing.
have
And
figured that we're pretty apolitical.
yeah, Red Bull.
Just saying, I mean,
People have figured we are pretty apolitical in the gel ball scene. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everyone's seen when it started, there was a lot of personalities. Some personalities clashed. Cool. Good for you guys. That's we support everyone. We've played in as many fields as we can get into.
Do you know what? Someone put a really good analogy to me the other day, and we should put this at both fields. He said, you should put up on the wall, treat this like the Continental.
Yeah.
Because we are, like, I think both of our fields, we are
Neutral
very
ground.
much the Continental, you know, when you, so we,
Yep. No
Maybe
business
we
is to
should do
be
that for
performed on the Continental.
Hey, any retailers out there who are getting the Baba Yaga in, please let us know, because we'll run a little promo with the Baba Yaga and the Continental here at Urban and Rapid and Summit.
we know someone that can wear a suit really well too, Jack. We'll get you to dress up as John Wick. Shout out Jackal
Jackal
OG.
Gelball. Hey, Jay's up for Jack, brother.
Blood.
Yeah, blood. Jay's up for Jack. You know, we'll get that and then hit legs. Oh, that's yeah.
But yeah, no. So definitely good to reach the sport.
Absolutely.
As a sport, or good to reach it as a sport.
Yeah.
Yes, we're very apolitical. If you're not talking positively about gel ball with us, and yeah, some of those are harder questions in terms of why don't we run 350 FPS every night? Why don't we let ultras in every night? It's a inclusiveness, safety. There's a lot of things there, but none of our changes are spur of the moment.
No, and
we have lots of spur of the moment.
We have lots
messaging
of,
conversations.
Absolutely, I was just about to say. But I think the one thing that especially when we first started talking, and that you guys had the field and we were starting, the one thing that clicked with both of us immediately was the fact of how much time and effort, one, we've put into setting these fields up as businesses, and two, our insurances and making sure that we have everything by the book, our zonings for the fields, everything that we could do in a positive way, so that when we open, we can show politicians, the public, that this is a proper sport. This is what we are trying to advocate. And I'm not saying that we're the only ones doing it.
Oh, no.
I think we just started talking. We all clicked together, and we were like, "Cool, let's try and do this." Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like for us, we've only just a couple of weeks ago, we've got to get some safety measures in place to implement it. But we've only just been approved to have people running propane on the field in any session.
Yeah, so those of you also wondering, questioning us at Rapid, why we weren't allowing propane, it's because our brother fields...
they were supporting us. Like, we appreciated that everyone expected the same thing. And in our case, we've had a lot of people say, I suppose a really quick way to answer some of the questions. No, propane on the field in a gel blaster doesn't pose a major issue.
No.
Yes, when you run the Bunnings gas or whatever, it stinks a tiny bit, but in the volume, it normally dissipates quickly. The safety issue has always been the filling. It's always been.
Correct.
We went to our insurer and said, this is what we need to deal with. Here is an SDS safety data sheet and the H220 explosive gas. And they just went, ooh, how are you dealing with that?
Yeah.
It's even like Abbey gas, green gas, all of those are a hydrocarbon or a propane-based gas.
Correct.
The issue on the field, the amount on the field, you'd have to like vent your magazine next to a lighter to get it. As soon as it's out, it doesn't reach the lower flammability limit.
Yeah.
But if someone like your Abbey gas can is very similar size to the Red Bull can, and if someone manages to snap the valve off the top of that, that vents into enough to fill like the gap all the way from Luke to eye.
that becomes the
you then have
flammability issue.
you then have lower flammability limit reached in that area, and if someone, they shouldn't be, but if someone accidentally pulls a trigger on a gel blaster and the motor sparks, or somebody turns the fan on, we do have some fans in our waiting area, but they're just the basic trade fans. You can see the spark with the
Smokers,
switch.
someone's playing with a lighter.
Yep.
Or accidentally just flicks it on and boom, you know. So that's why we at Rapid weren't doing it, and we were waiting for Urban Gelball. So you guys should definitely thank them if you're playing with propane on the field, because they have been trying to get that through for months now.
Yeah, so we got it approved about a month after we came back from the COVID lockdown. We just have to build a little alcove outside one of our doors so that people can fill it outside.
Correct.
And we still just need people to be careful with cans because they're...
Yeah, that's good news.
Also, probably leading on to that one is we can now allow in the same conversation. We were approved to run HPA in any session.
Fantastic.
We are putting a hard limit on HPA for semi.
Yep.
We were discussing a rounds per second limit, but we haven't sort of locked anything down on that. But sort of realistically, if you're doing over 30 rounds a second out of a HPA blaster, like, you need to look at your play style.
Yeah.
That's not a jab at anyone.
No. It's just, I mean, we have HPA that run here, and they're fast. They're quick on the trigger, but I mean, they're not. You know, we have DSG builds that are doing that thing, that same as well. Quite frankly, I think HPAs are very well performing systems.
Consistent.
They're it's like getting the top tier tennis racket.
Yep.
Or the top
The
tier.
few I've used, I've liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't super
I wouldn't run one
huge fan
personally.
of them, but
I wouldn't, but
I don't really want to carry a tank, but
no, me either.
they were nice to use.
And you guys are like us. You're not allowing ceramic tanks, correct? We're only doing the
the aluminium tanks
or the carbon fiber. The carbon
and the carbon fiber.
Yeah.
The carbon fiber has to have a
barrel sock. Tank sock. Sorry.
Yeah.
To stop any chips in the resin.
Yep.
And then aluminium. Obviously, most people run them on the back in a bag anyway.
Yeah.
Aluminium is a touch more forgiving, obviously at more weight. But not the ceramic tanks. That's just.
That's an accident waiting to happen.
The other thing I am talking to people about is I do know that you can get adapters to go on the HPA hose to run the threaded 25 gram CO2. Now, don't quote me because not a HPA tech at all, but I believe you can get a regulator put there to step the 25 gram CO2 down to HPA low pressure,
wow.
which again, I'm now not... If people want to run that kind of thing, it obviously lightens up their blaster. They've got no hose because it can be done on the blaster.
Yeah.
And it does definitely make our job as field refs, owners, easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your fuel cost is quite reasonable as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you can get the 25 gram threaded CO2 like $3 or $4 from most push bike shops for filling push bike tyres.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm encouraging players that are running it.
See, I would love to do that with the MSR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That was my thought down the track. Because, I mean, with a sniper rifle, how many shots?
You're not doing a lot. You're a bolt
20,
action.
30 shots. That 25 grams going to last you a night.
There is a small part of me that would love to design the MSR to run an actual gearbox.
Yeah, so
that when you pull the trigger, it's like full auto. That would be that would be something cool.
Right, so the rest of us are sitting here saying semi, and Ryan's just like, I want to scare the pants off every
Full
single
auto
person.
MSR.
I want an MSR Warthog.
Yeah.
What? That's good. But actually, that's a good segue into our next segment of the podcast. What's coming up in Gelball? Because we've got a very
That's a new one.
Yeah, what's coming up in Gelball? We actually have a very, very, very huge, exciting announcement for everybody.
Huge.
So if you're standing watching this, sit down. If you're sitting down watching this, lay down.
Yep.
If you're laying down, go
Stand up.
stand up. Get some blood in your
Get
legs.
some blood in your legs. I think. I'm happy for you guys to announce it.
How did we do it last time? Because this is the review.
Yeah,
the
it is.
redo.
You argued about it, and then I just said
Rage can have the honours.
like, tag Ryan's in the middle.
Tag Ryan's. Oh yeah, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah, tag Ryan's in the
tags
middle.
Ryan. Yeah. So Ryan, what's happening? What are we bringing to the table for Gelball?
So it's interesting that tag is mentioned. What an interesting word to use.
Okay.
So we have been working on this for quite some time, but we are going to announce that we are running a league.
Yep.
Correct.
Multi-field.
Multi-field mill speed league.
Or SWAT sim.
Or SWAT sim.
We haven't worked that part out
yet.
But it's called tag, so the Ascent Games, which just sounds awesome, let's be honest. So yeah, it's going to be a combination of field, multi-field, and it's going to be all sort of game mode specific.
Yeah,
if you've played it at either Urban or Rapid, you'll know that our game modes are quite unique in what we play. Very situational, operational, mill sim style games. And being a CQB field with a 10-minute round, speed is of the essence as well. So we're combining those, so you find a lot of similar gameplay to what we run at our fields inside this league, and
amped up. Turned up to 11.
Turned up to 11.
So,
very competitive.
So think about the game modes that are run at these fields. Now we're going competitive. So you know, this is you're playing for the league now.
For the league.
Yeah. So if you were to what's that other one we don't quote?
Well,
the two words.
Technically, we can get around it by doing this way. If I say battle,
and I say arena.
There we go.
So yeah, if you're
very
familiar
similar.
with that. If you're familiar with that. So this is, obviously very independent and different of speedball, speed soft.
Correct.
Which is, your skirmish based, type of gameplay. This is a league, but focusing on
high speed chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way of putting it.
Classes.
A very tactical way. Yeah, we've got like Tim was about to say, classes for teams. You'll have to, we're looking at setting up for the team that you register. You have to fill certain spots within that team, certain classes, just like a video
classes
game.
Or roles.
Classes or roles.
That would change each time you go into play, so you're not stuck in the same role for the whole league.
Exactly.
But it's leaning towards, say we have a scored night and it's 5v5, and okay, you have to put on field someone playing a position of the officer, 2 riflemen, and
a breacher, or
we'll have a list of, you can have a breacher, a riot shield, a machine gunner, and your other 2 can pick. And that doesn't have to be the same person each round that night. But also that gives you the ability that if only 4 of you can make it to the night, you can still play. You can still get points on the board.
Yeah.
You can still you've got to make your 3.
Yeah.
And then the 4th person, or if you can run 3, you just make your officer and your 2 riflemen. You can still get points on the board.
Absolutely.
And you can still be, you can't just pick the Gucci classes. You can't just be the machine gunner.
Yeah.
And just go, well, I'm just going to spray the field and hopefully get some points and hopefully get a win. It's how do you operate with...
Yeah, how do you operate
for anyone that's
unit
played the game Squad on PC?
Yep, Squad.
It's going to be like that, where when you join into a squad, depending on how many members you've got, dictates what roles are available. So you can't just have 2 members and then have a sniper.
I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like anyone's played Payday.
Yeah, Payday.
Where you have to have, like your breacher or your safecracker.
We'll have a certain bomb. One will be a bomb diffuser list, for example, that only they can defuse the bomb.
Yeah.
So I guess some of it comes from all of us play video games, and it comes from a history of that, and we all want to play together and cooperatively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be very objection-based games.
And both of our fields, it's very hard to solo the entire field. So we very much, not enforce, but definitely encourage team-based gameplay. So that's what we're trying to bring in. This has been a long time in the making.
Yeah, this isn't like a decision of just like, let's start a Facebook group and see how it goes. This is like...
This is pre. I'll also
add, early February.
Yeah, this is pre those new regulations as well. So this is not something that we've said, let's start a league to meet with these regulations.
Oh, this is way before that was even a discussion.
Long
I think this
before.
Was this pre you actually registering a business, like Rapid Vantage?
Correct. This was before Rapid Vantage. it's taken a long time to be able to set this up, to make sure rules and things like that, and
throwing stuff backwards and forwards constantly because
and it's almost like there's been a training or a coaching company set up to help with these things.
funny that.
Something about mountains or something.
Something like that. And it's also
summiting.
It's also almost as if there's two fields that have very similarly in their design and measurements of their fields and designs have done this as well. It's
and
played a big part in everything.
We've put it together. So I mean, yes, it is initially, and I very hesitantly say initially, geared to indoor fields that specifically can do the closer quarters.
It's almost like two fields have purposely run the same rules.
Yeah, almost. But it is also we've gone down a lot of rules and a lot of ideas to be able to bring in anyone else that's interested. We are talking with other fields to see what there's other fields that have contacted us.
Yep.
It's not just Rapid and Urban. There is a chance that it's bigger than all of us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
6 months worth of foundational work between us all to actually say, yes, we can put this, we can build this, we can handle the running of this, because that's a big part. This is going to be another whole job.
Yeah. On top of all the other jobs.
On top of all of it.
I'm very excited. It's annoying. It's annoying that most likely we won't actually get to play and compete.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's a good to answer that. So, from a field owner and league manager point of view, I believe I'm speaking for all of us. We won't be playing. We won't be actually on a team. We are definitely inviting any sponsored teams that are sponsored by a store, sponsored by any of the wholesale brands, that kind of thing, to play.
Absolutely.
But we've set this up to try and provide as equal as possible, rather than putting money, time and effort towards an individual team and then that team getting known for always being the best on one field.
We'd rather do that for everyone.
Yeah. So this is working towards
that whole inclusiveness thing.
Yeah.
Building the sport, not a team.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know we've had, and I'm sure you guys have had teams that have approached you and said, "Can we get some sponsorship?"
Yep. We don't sponsor.
Yep. We've said, sorry, we are actually pushing towards the league, and we've been whispering details to them now for months.
Yeah.
It's coming.
That's right. Yeah, we can finally say that it's here.
And this is also
been announced, I should say.
It's not only writing the game rules. We've been writing our own rules. So rules that we have to abide by, rules that refs have to abide by, that fields have to abide by. So it's a very regulated competition that is fair and even for whoever is playing.
It's not just any Joe Blow is going to be a part of, like, when it comes to the league itself, there will be, ref handbooks to actually stipulate, how to handle each game mode and what situation. If this happens, then what's the response? And it's not just thrown together really quickly, let's just get league, let's just do it. It has been months and months and months of planning.
Yeah, so
do you know what did arrive today?
What?
The certain things that we've been talking about. That thing and the beep. Thing as well.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the league. Wait out for that.
Yeah, so scoring is indefinite. Let me just quickly look at the screen here. There's no ifs and or buts.
Yep.
That's the score.
So we've been working on...
In actual fact, can I bring them tomorrow that we can trial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was going to have a night off, but fine.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll see what the balance is, and for anyone, this is gonna air afterwards. So these guys are coming up tomorrow night, but that was last night or the night before or whatever. By the time this airs,
wow. So this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday night. The
7th of the 9th.
7th of the 9th.
7th September.
Unlucky.
Yep.
But no,
But yeah, no. So.
And in saying that, this is the 7th of the 9th. We are announcing it now. Please bear in mind there are still some ends that need tying up on our ends to make sure that this is a Loctite operation. obviously the big thing for all of us was if we're asking for people to pay money for something, then we want them to be able to be getting the maximum out of it, not just the right to own a gel blaster. And we want to know, we want them to know that, you know, that's actually going towards the entirety of the league. It's not just, you know, to four hands.
We're offering a membership to the league. That was always the plan from day one.
Yep.
But that membership will cover, the aim of it is to cover the total costs of running the league, of competing in the league. There will be...
And prizes, guys.
It'll cover prizes.
Like everyone wants to compete for a prize, right? Well, those prizes have to come from somewhere.
It'll cover the prizes. It will cover the running of the competitive nights. So we're hoping that we can either discount or maybe completely take out your competition fee for the night, because it will be paid as part of the membership. It will also come with discount training nights. So you will be able to book the fields, any fields that are involved, and that's one of the stipulations of the fields being involved,
participating,
that you will offer up, so that there is no, it's you can equally rent Rapid Vantage, Urban, any of the other fields for your team to have the run of the field for 2 hours at a reduced cost because you're a league member.
Yeah, and
to do your training, to do your drills, to do whatever. You could possibly reach out to Summit Tactical, engage them for
a reduced fee.
And that's not applied to to public sessions either. This is as fields would we're talking about offering a certain date, a certain night where you can book in for a very reduced cost to come and play, even to practice against other teams, all that kind of stuff. But you know, we see it as fields like we have to give something back to you guys that are playing. So, you know.
And you can't stress enough, like the memberships and stuff like that. That concept was developed in like way before the idea of any legislative.
It was
changes
actually, I can say for a fact, it was before first lockdown.
Yeah, it was before first lockdown.
So my understanding of reading the legislation so far, and of talking to, I unfortunately couldn't make it to that QPS weapons licensing meeting.
Yeah.
But talking to multiple people that have attended, it would appear that as long as you have a receipt saying, I am attending a field tonight, that is why my gel blaster is in the boot.
Correct.
That looks to be
reasonable excuse.
Enough as a reasonable excuse right now. So our membership was never intended to answer, cover, offer any of that stuff. This is you want to be involved in the industry, and we're not putting ourselves as an association on the political side of it. There is some really good associations out there that do that. That we definitely encourage you, if you want to be a member of that, join that. Definitely.
I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not an association. This is a competitive league.
This is a competitive sports league.
You know, we're not. Yeah, this is our contribution to the sport
with benefit.
With a benefit, you know, and I think there'll be a whole bunch of different stuff. You know, I'm certainly looking at bringing to the table. Like everyone wants team patches. Well, if you're a member of the league, you know, same with the tack shop we have here. You know, there might be benefits for joining the field and to be able to get your team uniforms and all that kind of stuff. We want to look.
There'll be a lot of benefit. But you'll
absolutely.
have to wait for us to.
We need to grow into it.
We need to grow into it. So don't start hammering us now going, all right, I want to know this. Allow us to start, releasing this stuff to the community and just get it out there.
We're looking at, bleeding it out there. I'm sure we'll run a couple of test matches for those of you who maybe turned up for the 2v2 CQB comp that Rapid ran here. That wasn't just an off-the-cuff kind of event. I was trialing some stuff. So thank you to all those lab rats that came. We want to be able to, when we launch it, make it as easy as possible for you guys. There's one place where you can go to find all of the answers to things. There's, one person that you can contact. There's, isn't it funny, like you guys have put cameras up in your field as well. If you guys have been to Urban Gelball, you'll see their cameras around their field. The cameras around our field. We're trying to look to be able to bring content and streaming of these games as well to the public. Hello. So yeah, that's we're
It's a massive undertaking.
On top of all the other jobs that these guys have.
Get excited.
Yeah, get excited for it. It's
and we've tried to position it. We have at Urban Gelball we have refs, and we have some other guys that come and help us regularly that are friends of Rachel and mine who play other sports, who play TRL, volleyball, etc., etc. So we have taken some feedback from them just in terms of what is a reasonably acceptable weekly, monthly cost to go and play volleyball, to go and play touch rugby league, to go and play basketball as a competitive sport at different levels.
Yeah.
We want Gelball as an industry to get there. We want this to be one facet of that.
Yeah.
And we don't think it's a facet that is really been touched on yet.
No. And actually funny you say that, because I know you for a fact are coming from a competitive sport background as well, and I know that you guys have been reaching out to friends that are playing at competitive levels, asking them, hey, how is this competition run? What are the behind the scenes of how this is run as a competition? So it's not like we're just trying to write this ourselves. We're trying to take existing organizations and leagues that are out there and mold them to Gelball, so that we can have a nice, easy competition. Well, not easy competition, a nice flowing competition.
Yes, a nice, smooth. And I mean, that's, we had the discussion this week about yellow card, red card.
Yeah, exactly.
Soccer's got that down. Football, soccer, depending where in the world you're watching from.
That's going to start an argument.
That's that, yeah.
The round ball.
It's football.
As like we've talked
the
about.
Yellow cards, yeah.
Yellow cards, red cards for competitive. You can't go to basketball rules and say, well, what happens if you get shot on the blaster? That's something that we've had to look at. But even that, there is speedball style competitions that answer those questions.
Absolutely.
So we are not trying to reinvent any wheels here. We're just trying to find the wheels, I suppose, that fit this vehicle the best.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way. That's a really beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. There'll
Stay
be
tuned,
more
guys.
information on that coming out.
This is the first drop of a wave of information and
Absolutely.
growth now.
Absolutely.
We've put it out there. We've said it free.
Oh, now we have to do it too.
That's an expectation. So yes, like it will start sort of drip feeding it out, getting more information so people can have a full understanding. So by the time we actually launch and say, all right, the league starts on this date, there's been plenty of build-up, plenty of anticipation. Everyone knows where they're at.
Some videos on some rules.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. There'll be rule
manual,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll tell you how to get involved if you want to get involved.
Yeah.
Just wait out.
You guys have seen the volunteer ref program that we have here at Rapid. That's even tying into it as well.
Yep.
We want to open up the players that maybe don't want to play, but they're like, hey, cool, I'd really love to ref this. So,
the sport, the hobby, the industry, whichever facet you look at or where you come from, there are people that are happy to just mod blasters. They barely play. They just love the mechanical. There's people that collect that just want to do it. There's people that want to play, and there is people out there that just want to ref. They just want to say, hey, we don't want to do the competitive side, but we definitely want to help it grow.
Yeah.
So we are reaching out to all of them. I think there was a comment you made on Facebook a couple of months back now about trying to get a consistent rule set, consistent approach, certified refs. And somebody else commented and said, "What's a certified ref?"
There's nothing that exists in that. But
we know.
We're going to address that.
We are wanting to do something here where we can say, if only we had a training company that could train refs. Do. But yeah, so you can rock up to a site and they'll have a tag certified
ref.
Yeah. They're going to be like a numbered patch thing.
Yeah.
So that we'll actually have people saying, no, you can't just go and get those patches and play yourself.
Yeah, I think as well we were talking about having tiers of refs. So each actual competition would have 2 head refs, and then you would have your field refs.
Yeah,
and those head refs would actually go back and question the calls of the the field refs to come to a unanimous decision,
Yep.
so that there's no bias between any teams or players.
Hey, look, stealing from tennis where they've got a
Yeah.
chair ref and they've got line refs,
Exactly.
linesmen.
Exactly.
You know, we'll have some people that their entire job might just be to try and stay close to the action with a GoPro on their chest or their head
Yeah, that we can go.
with not making a call, just
yeah,
streaming that back to a screen somewhere where someone can look at, and there's people just looking at that, what happened there.
yeah. Even cameras around in certain locations and capture points of the field, purely streaming, so that
And we acknowledge that is a skill, like being able to watch a sport. Specifically, your job is to watch that monitor for when this does or doesn't happen. There is an entire skill set there, because you get caught up in it. Like I watch. You guys have got cameras. We've got cameras. You watch the screen and you're just like, who's going there? Who's going there? What's going on?
Yep.
Wait,
Yep.
hang on. I needed to watch those guys.
Yeah.
Where did that guy go?
Yeah, it's a big undertaking to set something up that is going to last. And I think we had this talk on the last podcast, that our first meeting about Summit and Rapid was even about. It wasn't even like when you asked me, what is Rapid? I was telling you not what was happening now, but what I want to happen in 5 years. So that's, we're trying to set something up that is going to last.
Yeah.
Or that we will be able to push to last, to the point that, God forbid that even we get out of the industry somehow, that still remains there for players and for the industry.
Well, we can hopefully grow, and we would like to get involved in all the different aspects of the industry.
Absolutely.
But, I do enjoy running the field, but I don't, hand on heart, I don't want to still be the person going in 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week to ref, to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah.
And that's not for the lack of, we have a great player base.
It is. But I think it's the same as saying, we would love to set this league up as solid as possible so that we can then step out as organisers of it to actually play, because we're creating something that I know at points all of us have said, I really want to just not have that rule so that we can get in and play.
Well, and I know we've discussed down the track that we may be able to not necessarily form our own teams, but we may be able to apply to join some of the existing teams.
Existing teams, correct.
And then we become a player.
Even doing charity events where it can be the current team champions or whatever converse the staff, and we can raise money.
Absolutely
minced.
I was going to say, we need a charity event that lasts longer than 45 seconds.
Yeah,
that's it.
So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah,
definitely
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that one. Okay, here's a quick little thing to end. Okay, I'm going to play this sound, guys. And if you can, in the comments, say where this is from, a specific sound effect, and I was going to say the date it was released, but no, just the sound of this effect. Put it in the comments. I'll go through the comments. Rapid and what'll I do? How do they run these competitions? Comment. Okay, no, here's the one. Okay, I'm going to play this sound, and then write in the comments what you would say, the most creative thing to say after this sound. I'll go through the comments, and the answer that makes me laugh the most, I will contact that person and give a free entry to Rapid Vantage. So here it is, the first podcast competition ever. Here is the sound. All right. So to give an example, if you heard this sound, Ryan, what are you going to say after it? You ready? Ready?
Bravo 6 going dark. We all know it's from Call of
That's
Duty.
from Call of Duty. All right.
Captain Price.
You ready, Tim? You got something to say?
You should play that and then his sound effect.
Yeah. Did I pick the right doctor?
Yeah. Oh, all right, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, Rachel, you got one. I'm going to put you on the spot. Ready?
Yes, sir, I got nothing. Nothing that's child friendly.
So there you go. Type it in the comments. Let's get some. The comment that makes me laugh the most, I'm going to reach out to and give you a free entry to Rap Advantage.
And the comment that makes Rachel laugh the most, we'll throw one in the same for Urban.
Oi, look at that.
So
there we
you
go.
go. We got to get Rachel laughing.
Okay.
So
Well, guys, that's actually all we have time for. Definitely go over, give Summit a like and follow. Give Urban Gelball a like and follow as well. Make sure you head to that field and play. We're going up there tomorrow to play. Apart from that, guys, thank you guys so much for coming and being on the podcast. Really appreciate
thanks
it.
very much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yay, go tag!